Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Hello and welcome to day 7 of Vlogmas. This is Festivities on the Float. My name is Tracy and I am the podcaster of The Comfy Red Couch. And today we're getting to be a bit more like podcast style because I am going to share with you a new knitting release, which I'm very, very excited about. It had been living in my Little Bobbins bag. Scout has come up to join as well and has laid down to rest her leg, and that's probably a good spot for her to be. This morning I woke up and I thought to myself, today I think will be the day that the Tinsel Trees pattern is released. And I opened up my email and sure enough, Danny, who is Danielle George, also known as Little Bobbins, has released her Tinsel Trees socks pattern. And this is the Christmas Eve cast on pattern for 2021 from Danny. She's done a few years of this pattern. Danny started this tradition quite a few years ago, and it's a lovely tradition where knitters across the world on Christmas Eve cast on something special. It might be socks, it might be a sweater, it might be a shawl, it might be whatever you want it to be. It might even be crochet. But so not necessarily just knitters around the world, but it's become a lovely tradition. And on Christmas Eve, as I said, knitters, crocheters across the world cast on something special, and many of them will be casting on the pattern that had been living in my lovely Little Bobbins bag. Now I'll share my yarns that I used for the Tinsel Trees pattern, and my main color I used Ren & Ollie Purist. These were 50-gram balls, so I had 2 of these, and the colorway that I used was Ash, and this is 100% Corriedale merino wool, and it's a little bit toothy, and it's this lovely, it's sort of like, it reminds me of like a sepia. It's sort of a brownish gray. It's just a very muted color and lovely to work with. So nice yarn to work with. And then I, for my highlights, my contrasting color, used this undyed Nora George Yarns sparkle sock. And I had asked Tracy last year if I might be able to buy an undyed skein of her sparkle sock because I knew I wanted to use it in last year's pattern, and it was nice to be able to also use it in this year's pattern. And I really love how these 2 colors work together. Danny has used 4 colors. She's used a main color and then 3 minis for hers. You could use 1 color, you could use 2 colors where maybe your top and bottom bobble are the same color and the middle one's different. You could do 6 different colors on the socks. You could do whatever you want. I chose to do a 2-color version, and I absolutely love how it has turned out. And of course, it had to live in my Little Bobbins bag. How many of you were really surprised that that was what was living in there? I don't think many of you. So I do have 2 Tinsel Trees socks, and it was nice to finally meet a deadline. I've met many of my deadlines this year, just the 2 that I didn't meet, and but I definitely wanted to meet the deadline for this pattern. It's got a nice fold in the middle because it's been on my sock blockers, but the Tinsel Trees pattern has this lovely, very simple pattern down the front of the sock, and then there's a bobble at each of the tree tops. And as I said, I've used one color. Danny has used 3 different colors. You could use one color here, one color there, and something different in the middle. You could, as I said, if you've got your pair of socks going, you could have a real fun time and use all of the different colors for your baubles. They're your socks. You can do what you want with them. They're fun design, and it's great to be creative. Anyway, these start off with a 2x2 rib. They go into the tinsel tree patterning section, and then it is a simple stockinette the rest of the way. It has the slip stitch heel and the square heel turn, which is my favorite heel, and a lovely gusset, because a gusset fits so well. And then into the foot, and then it has a rounded wedge toe. And I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago with Danny's other pattern, I think I just called it a wedge toe. It was a rounded wedge toe as well. Anyway, this is the pattern for the Tinsel Trees socks. And I am so happy that I can finally share these with you. I cannot wait to put these in my sock rotation. They are so soft, especially once they were blocked. It is a little bit of a toothy yarn, but super soft. And this is the second time that I've knit with Ren and Ollie, and I absolutely love their yarns. Ren and Ollie is a yarn dyer from Australia, and the colors are beautiful and the yarns are also beautiful. Anyway, this is the pattern for the Christmas Eve cast on, or I guess it's the official pattern for the Christmas Eve cast on, although I don't know that Danny actually calls it the official pattern. But since the Christmas Eve cast on really was inspired by Danny, I always kind of think of it as the official one. There are lots of other patterns out there. I mentioned that I will be knitting Alice Jeffrey's Be the Light socks on Christmas Eve. I still have to choose my yarns. Maybe we'll do that one day in Vlogmas. But for now, I have a beautiful pair of socks, and maybe I'll wear these on Christmas Eve, although I'm tempted to wear them beforehand because, you know, it is the Christmas season and all. I am currently wearing another of Danny's patterns on my feet right now. I think it's part of her Cyril series where she had a romantic pattern of 3, and of course I can't remember the name of it. I know they are made with Toasted Marshmallow by Elm Tree Yarns, and of course I need to look up. It's the one that's designed around the ring. I'll look it up and then I will tell you. The socks that I'm currently wearing are my Rita Socks, and I love them. They are sparkly, they are comfortable. I absolutely love Danny's patterns, all of her sock patterns. So if you are deciding that you will be casting on the Tinsel Tree socks, have fun choosing your yarns. Have fun choosing your yarns for whatever you decide to cast on. But I will tell you, this was a fantastic pattern. My parents were here when I was working on this, and I'm not always the best at knitting when I have people around, and I was able to work on these without too much distraction. You do have to think a little bit through this section, which really isn't all that much. And then of course, I always have to think through the heel, but I was able to work very well with people around on this pattern. So it's one of those patterns that is great to knit on while you're alone and also in mixed company. So enjoy whatever pattern you choose. If you're joining in the Christmas Eve cast on, it is always such a special time of year. Anyway, these are ready to be worn. I thought I would also share my progress so far on my cowl that I am working on. And I've had to kind of stop for a little bit, mainly because I am waiting for some more yarn. I know, very bad. This is the Snuggly Pom cowl, and this is a pattern by Jules Hill, who is So Sweet Violet. I am loving working on this project. This is another one that mindless is what I need right now, and this has fit the bill. I have been using Shalimar Airy, and Tamarillo has been my main color that I'm using in the bauble sections. And then I've been using other airy bits that I've had left over from other projects in the other sections. So I have Sand Dollar, Ballet Slipper. This one is Shortcake. This one is Damask. And this one is Bird Cage. Now I do have Tangerine Dream that will be put in here, but I was very naughty and I found some more Shalimar online and I purchased some. So I'm going to actually put this aside and wait, because I have a couple of other colors that I want to put in here, including Silly Old Bear. I don't think I have enough here to do a full section, so I'm going to wait till the new skein comes in, and I may use this and then do a bit of striping, or I may just go from the fresh skein. We'll see. Plus I have a couple of other colors. And then I also have the dark gray that is upstairs that I plan to also include. And can I remember the name? No. Why would I remember a name right now? Anyway, that is my progress so far on my Tiddly Pom neck snuggler. And oh my gosh, I cannot wait to finish this and wear it, block it then wear it. It's going to be such a gorgeous knit, and it is so squishy and soft. It's a really, really lovely pattern. Anyway, dropped the counter. Gotta drop something. That we'll have to wait for a little bit. And one last thing before I leave you for today, let's look at my tropical advent calendar. Yesterday, there was this lovely sparkly pen that was for day 6, and day 7 is yarn. So let us see what tropical color awaits me today. This was an advent kit that was created especially for me by Chris and Sam and Nikki, and ooh, and they have one as well, so I don't think I'm spoiling it for them, but this is today's color. So I was thinking of doing a Safe Spaces blanket, but I am loving the Tiddly Pom neck snuggler so much that I may have to do one of those. I'm not really sure, we'll see. Maybe like a half length one, like just a single wrap rather than a double wrap. So many patterns to choose from. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Anyway, I think that is all I'm going to share. It's a little bit more than I thought. I thought I was just going to share socks, and I decided, you know, let's share progress on some knitting. Let's make it more like a little mini pod. And so that is what I'm going to share for today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day wherever you are, and have fun choosing your yarns if you're deciding to do the Christmas Eve cast on. Bye.
In excelsis Deo, in excelsis Deo.
As I was preparing to record today, I made a cup of tea because I thought I'm going to do like a little mini pod, and I totally forgot to share it with you. So today I am drinking tea, Marks and Spencer of course, from my Haunted Mansion Hurry Back mug, one of my favorites. And I think today we definitely need to cheer to the tradition of the Christmas Eve cast on. Cheers to that.